Good morning, dear students. Really glad to meet you. First of all, I would like to welcome one and all in our today's video lecture. Friends, today we are going to see about prose and poetry section. This section is one of the major sections in our syllabus. If you just look at our textbook, this is our textbook, my English course book, Standard 10. In this textbook, if you see in detail, you will come to know that this textbook is divided into 4 units. That is unit number 1, unit number 2, unit number 3, and unit number 4. And in each unit, there are some prose, some poetry. Every unit begins with a poetry section, and in each unit, there are 2 poems. In short, in our textbook, there are 4 units. In each unit, we have to see 2 poems. That means total 4 to the 8 poems we have to see in detail. At the same time, in unit number 1, there are 3 prose. In unit number 2, there are 4 prose. In unit number 3, there are 3 prose. In unit number 4, there are 4 prose. In short, in 2 units, 3 prose, and in 2 units, 4 prose. Total 14 prose. That is 14 lessons and 8 poems we have to study in this year. And these poems we have to study in section number 2nd, section number 3rd, and section number 4th. Now, if you see at these poems, if you see at these passages, you will come to know that in question number 2, question number 3, and question number 4, such type of prose and poetry questions will be asked. In prose section, it will be question number 2. In question number 2A, there will be one scene passage, and this scene passage will be for 10 marks. At the same time, in question number 2B, there will be one more scene passage, and that passage will be also for 10 marks. In question number 3, we have to see poem for comprehension, and this poem will be asked in question number 3A, poem for comprehension, 5 marks, and 3B, critical appreciation for 5 marks. In question number 4, we have to see the passage just like question number 2. But the difference is that in question number 4, we have to see unseen passage. And that unseen passage is for 10 marks. And in question number 4B, summary writing is there. It is for 5 marks. We have to see the summary in next video lecture. मित्रहो, आपलं जे 10वीचं इंग्रजी विषयाचं पुस्तक आहे, त्या पुस्तकामध्ये एकूण 4 युनिट आहेत. प्रत्येक युनिटमध्ये 2-2 कविता. याचा अर्थ आपण वर्षभरामध्ये 8 कवितांचा अभ्यास करणार आहोत. त्याचप्रमाणे प्रत्येक युनिटमध्ये प्रोज सेक्शन देखील आहे. पहिल्या युनिटमध्ये 3, दुसऱ्या युनिटमध्ये 4, परत 3, परत 4 असे एकूण 14 सेक्शन्स प्रोजमध्ये आपण पाहणार आहोत. आणि पोयम आपणासाठी 8 आहेत की ज्याचे प्रश्न क्रमांक 2, प्रश्न क्रमांक 3 आणि प्रश्न क्रमांक 4 मध्ये येणार आहेत. फ्रेंड्स, अकॉर्डिंग टू the rules and regulations of SSC board, for scene passages, there will be a passage from our textbook its limit is near about 12 to 15 sentences. That is, the passage having 12 to 15 sentences will be asked for comprehension for both scene passages. And if you just look at our textbook, you will come to know that among 14 prose, each prose is having near about 5 passages. That means 14 5s are 70. That is, in our textbook, 70 to 80 scene passages will be there. And friends, practically it is impossible to solve each and every passage in detail. As English is a language, we have to study English being a language, and that is why in this period I am going to teach you one of the basic concepts while solving the scene passages, unseen passages, at the same time at the same time poetry section, where we have to see about poem for comprehension and also critical appreciation of the poem. So let's enjoy our period. Let us see in detail how to solve this question. Friends, we have to learn the skill how to solve this question. This question is divided into 5 sub-questions. For question number 2, A1, there will be a question, simple factual question. This question will be for 2 marks. What is meant by simple factual question? Simple factual question means just like its name. It is very simple to identify one and all. And its answer is always in one word or one phrase. And that is why this question is very easy for one and all. Now let us see in this section, simple factual question, which type of questions will be asked. Basically, true or false, then fill in the blanks, then choose the correct alternative, name the following, at the same time match the pairs, agree or disagree. In this way, the questions whose answer is within just one word or one phrase. Such type of questions are asked in simple factual questions. And these questions are easy to identify. In our question paper, for simple factual question, there will be A, B, C, D or 1, 2, 3, 4 sub questions. Each question carries half mark. Total 2 marks will be there for simple factual question. For your better understanding, I have taken one passage from our textbook's first text, that is an encounter of a special kind. From this lesson, I have taken the first passage. My father was ... in the festive season. That is, first 2 paragraphs are given. Now, in this question, how the questions will be asked? See, first of all, state true or false. Then fill in the blanks, name the following, and in each question, there will be sub 4 questions. That means this question is very simple to solve. Now let us see question number A2. In question number A2, there will be complex factual question. Now see, what is meant by complex factual question? See, in simple factual question, the answer of the question is in one line. At the same time, for complex factual question, we have to find the answer from the passage. For example, there will be a web diagram. In web diagram, you have to find out 4 sub-questions. If there will be 2 passages or 3 passages, its answer will be, one answer will be in first passage, second will be in second passage, third will be elsewhere. That means in complex factual question, the answers will be scattered. What is the difference between simple and complex? In simple factual, answer is at one place. But in complex factual question, you have to find the answer elsewhere. For an encounter, I have taken some questions. Let us see. For example, you have to solve a web diagram. For first passage, I am going to give you homework about solving a web diagram, the features of the campus where the writer lived. At the same time, there will be WH question. See friend, WH question will not be asked in simple factual, but it may be asked in complex factual. Or in complex factual, describe type question will be there. Complete the sentences type question will be there. At the same time, there will be some sequence like question. That means use proper sequences of the sentences. Such type of questions will be asked in our complex factual question. Friends, this nature of question paper will be same to same for seen passage first, seen passage second, and at the same time unseen passages. Now friends, our textbook, see, our textbook is just like our Bhagavad Gita, like Quran, or it is just like a Bible. Whatever may be simple factual questions answer, you will find all the answer, maybe simple factual, maybe complex factual in this textbook. So we have to study the textbook in detail. It is very useful part of our syllabus. Now let us see the next question, that is question number A3. In question number A3, what is there? In question number A3, we have to see activity on vocabulary. In vocabulary section, in our textbook, glossary section is there. At the same time, after completion of lesson, many vocabulary topics are there. For example, in glossary, similar words are there. In textbook, opposite words are there. Change parts of speech topic is also there. Then find non-English or Indian word, it is also there. Or match the pairs. Such type of sentences, questions will be asked for activity on vocabulary. This topic is also simple for one and all, and maximum similar words are used from our textbook, that is glossary section. Now in activity number A4, activity on grammar. In activity for grammar, which types of questions are there? The questions which are not included in our language study, all such questions are asked. In maximum question paper, if you saw such type of papers, you will come to know that in activity on grammar, there will be questions like add a question tag, make exclamatory sentence, not only but also, both and, as well as change the voice, maybe indirect speech, and vice versa. Such type of questions may be asked in activity on grammar section. Now let us see the last section from our activity, that is A5. Friends, this A5 question is challenging for you. This is the question which examines, which is a food for an examiner to examine you. This question is personal response question. In this question, what is there? According to the passage, one open-ended question will be asked. And for this open-ended question, you are asked to express your views. And this question is very important for you. It carries 2 marks. In this way, there will be all the seen passages and all unseen passages. मित्रहो, आपल्या प्रश्नपत्रिकेमध्ये अशा प्रकारचे 5 प्रश्न आपण पाहणार आहोत. हा क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करण्यापूर्वी तुम्हाला काही टिप्स मला सांगायचे. आपण जर आपली ऍक्टिव्हिटी शीट पाहिली तर ऍक्टिव्हिटी शीट मध्ये प्रश्न लिहिलेला असतो. रीड द फॉलोइंग पॅसेज केअरफुली अँड डू द ऍक्टिव्हिटीज. परंतु मित्रहो, आपण पहिल्यांदा पॅसेज कधीही वाचायचा नाही. तर पहिल्यांदा आपण त्या पॅसेजवर आधारित असणारे A1, A2, A3 हे 3 प्रश्न वाचायचे. कारण या प्रश्नांची उत्तरं आपण त्या पॅसेज मध्ये शोधणार आहोत. जेव्हा आपण हे प्रश्न वाचतो आणि जेव्हा प्रश्न वाचल्यानंतर आपण पॅसेज सॉल्व करायला घेतो, तेव्हा आपल्या लक्षात येतं की आपण जे वाचतोय ते वरती पाहिलेल्या प्रश्नाचं उत्तर आहे. आणि म्हणून प्रश्नपत्रिका, आपली ऍक्टिव्हिटी शीट सॉल्व करत असताना सुरुवातीला क्वेश्चन वाचायचे. क्वेश्चन वाचल्यानंतर ते समजून घ्यायचे आणि त्यानंतर आपण काय करायचं तर पॅसेज वाचून पॅसेज मधील उत्तर आपण शोधायची. एक गोष्ट लक्षात महत्वाची घ्या. इयत्ता 10वीचा अभ्यास आपण जवळजवळ 10 ते 12 महिने आपण करणार आहोत. आणि परीक्षेमध्ये पेपर लिहायला आपल्याकडं इंग्रजीसाठी मॅक्झिमम 3 तास आहेत. म्हणजे 10 ते 12 महिने अभ्यास केलेला पेपर मध्ये उतरण्यासाठी आपल्याकडं फक्त 3च तास आहेत. आणि हे तुम्ही 3 तासामध्ये उतरलेलं जो पेपर तपासणारा आहे, त्या पेपर तपासणाऱ्याला तपासण्यासाठी फक्त 12 ते 15 मिनिटच आहेत. कारण एका तासामध्ये किमान 5-6 पेपर तो तपासतो. म्हणजे वर्षभर करायचं, 3 तास लिहायचं आणि 12 ते 15 मिनिटांमध्ये तुमचं मूल्यमापन करायचं. मित्र हो, पेपर तपासत असताना परीक्षकापुढं तुम्ही नसता तर तुमचा पेपर हा तुमचा अँबॅसेडर असतो. तुमचा पेपर हा तुमचा रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह असतो. आणि म्हणूनच आपला पेपर हा सिस्टमॅटिक, वेळेचं नियोजन करून अतिशय सुटसुटीत असणं आवश्यक आहे. पेपर लिहित असताना पेपर तपासणाऱ्या शिक्षकाच्या मानसिकतेचाही विचार आपण केला पाहिजे आणि वेळेमध्येच पेपर कव्हर व्हायला पाहिजे. यासाठी थोडंसं वेळेचं नियोजन आपण पाहूया. आज आपण प्रोज अँड पोएट्री सेक्शन पाहणार आहोत. या प्रोज अँड पोएट्रीसाठी क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 ए, जो सीन पॅसेज आहे, या सीन पॅसेजला आपण साधारणपणे एका पॅसेजला 15 मिनिटं, म्हणजे 10 मार्काच्या प्रश्नाला 15 मिनिटं, कारण हा पॅसेज आपण यापूर्वी अभ्यासलेला आहे. 2 सीन पॅसेजेस आहेत. याचा अर्थ सीन पॅसेज क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 साठी आपण 20 मिनिटे देणार आहोत. त्यानंतर पोएम फॉर कॉम्प्रिहेन्शन आपण पाहणार आहोत. पोएम फॉर कॉम्प्रिहेन्शन साठी 5 मार्क आहेत. याच्यासाठी 10 मिनिट आपण देणार आहोत. क्रिटिकल ॲप्रिसिएशन, जे अतिशय महत्वाचं आणि हमखास पैकीच्या पैकी मार्क पाडणार आहे, यासाठी 5 मार्काला 10 मिनिट. अनसीन पॅसेजसाठी हा नवीन आहे, आपण पहिल्यांदा पाहतो आणि म्हणून 15 मिनिटाच्या ऐवजी आपण 20 मिनिटे यासाठी देणार आहोत. त्यानंतर समरी रायटिंग नेक्स्ट पिरियडला आपण पाहणार आहोत, परंतु समरी रायटिंगसाठी साधारणपणे आपण 10 मिनिटे म्हणजे एकंदरीत हा जो 45 मार्कांचा प्रोज अँड पोएट्री सेक्शन आहे यासाठी 80 मिनिट आपण देणार आहोत. आणि या पद्धतीनं जर प्रोज अँड पोएट्रीचं आपण नियोजन केलं तर माझ्या मते आपणाला पेपर सुटसुटीत सोडवता नक्कीच येईल. मित्रहो, होमवर्कमध्ये मी तुम्हाला पहिल्या पॅसेजमधील हे सगळे क्वेश्चन विथ फुल ऑफ व्हरायटी देणार आहे. तर ते क्वेश्चन आपण सॉल्व करायचे आणि ज्या वेळेस आपली शाळा सुरू होईल त्यावेळेस आपण डिटेलमध्ये सगळे पॅसेज पाहणारच आहोत. पॅसेजेस नंतर आपण पोएट्री सेक्शनचा आता अभ्यास करणार आहोत. मित्रहो, पोएट्री सेक्शन परीक्षेला 2 विभागामध्ये आपण पाहणार आहोत. त्यामध्ये 2 प्रश्न असतील. क्वेश्चन क्रमांक 3A, क्वेश्चन क्रमांक 3B. क्वेश्चन क्रमांक 3A मध्ये आपण पोएम फॉर कॉम्प्रेहेन्शन ज्याप्रमाणे सीन पॅसेज पाहिले, ज्याप्रमाणे अनसीन पॅसेजेस पाहिले, त्याप्रमाणेच पोएम फॉर कॉम्प्रेहेन्शन आपण पाहणार आहोत. आणि त्याचप्रमाणे क्वेश्चन नंबर 3B मध्ये आपणाला क्रिटिकल ॲप्रिसिएशन पाहायचं आहे. फ्रेंड्स, इन अवर टेक्स्ट बुक there are 8 poems, and among these 8 poems, one poem will be asked for comprehension and another poem will be asked for critical appreciation. For each section 5 marks are given. Also, this topic is very simple and you can easily get out of mark in this topic also. First of all, see comprehension. In comprehension, just like in passages, there will be A1. Just like in passages, A1 will be simple factual question. In simple factual question, we are asked fill in the blanks, true or false, match the pairs, agree or disagree, just like comprehension sin passages. Then in complex factual question, just like sin passages, you are asked web diagram or complete or answer like of WH question. Then A3 question will be there, and that question will be about poetic devices. Then which poetic devices will be asked? Definitely rhyme scheme, non-English words used in our poem. At the same time, some describing words will be asked in poetry devices section. See how to solve the passage for comprehension. First of all, I would like to once again clear. For this question, the question will be asked, read the stanza carefully and answer the questions. But first of all, we have to read the questions. One more thing for comprehension, in our poem there may be 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 stanzas. But for comprehension, maximum 2 to 3 stanzas will be asked for comprehension, not entire poem. Understand? Then in simple factual question, such type of questions will be there. First of all, you have to read the question and find the answer from the particular stanza. At the same time, complex factual question will be there, and for poetic devices, basically we have to solve rhyming words, non-English words or describing words. Now let us see the last topic. This topic is very, very important for us. This topic is critical appreciation. As you know, in our textbook, among 8 poems, 1 poem will be asked for critical appreciation. And this question will be for 5 marks like comprehension. But what is the difference between a poem for comprehension and poem for critical appreciation? Both the poems will be different. One poem will be asked for comprehension and another among 8 poems will be asked for critical appreciation. But difference is that for critical appreciation of the poem, entire poem, this poem may include 1 stanza, 2 stanza, 3 or multi-stanzas. Entire poem will be asked for critical appreciation. Then, in critical appreciation, there will be 5 questions. All the questions are very simple. First question is related to title. If you see any poem, the title is there. Before starting the poem, there is the heading or title of the poem. We have 8 poems. You know the title of all the 8 poems. And this title will be asked for half mark. At the beginning of the poem, there will be a title. You have to just write down the title. One more thing I have to tell you, that while solving critical appreciation question, you have to solve the question in complete sentence, full sentence. That is title. The title of the poem is A Teenager's Prayer. In this way, the title of the poem is If. That means we have to solve this question in complete sentence. This will carry half mark, and this is very easy for one and all to achieve half mark. Then there will be another question, and that question will be related to the poet. Then at the beginning there will be title, and at the end there will be poet. In our question paper, title will be given, at the same time the name of poet or poetess will be given at the end of the poem. We have to see the name and write. We have to write in complete sentence. Now see, what is the difference? Poems are never written. Poems are never written. Poems are always composed. कविता हा रचल्या जातात. आणि म्हणून या प्रश्नाचं उत्तर लिहित असताना द पोयम इज रिटन बाय न म्हणता द पोयम इज कंपोज्ड. द पोयम इज कंपोज्ड बाय द पोएट, whatever may be, J. Morse, Rudyard Kipling, whatever may be, you have to write in full sentence. It will carry half mark. That means title at the beginning for a half mark, then poet at the end carry half mark. Total easily without knowing anything, just observing the activity sheet, you will have 1 mark in this question. Then third question will be there about rhyme scheme. From 5th standard onwards, you are studying about rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme means what? Just we have to see the last word from each line, from each stanza, and according to the last word, we have to find out the rhyme scheme. Like A, AB, ABC, ABCD, whatever may be, you have to write down the rhyme scheme. And this rhyme scheme is for 1 mark. That means total 1 plus 1, 2 marks these 2 marks are very easy for one and all. Now, third more mark. This is about figure of speech. For any poem, figure of speech is its soul. कुठल्याही कवितेचा आत्मा हा त्या कवितेमध्ये वापरलेला फिगर ऑफ स्पीच कवितेचा अलंकार आहे. आणि त्यामुळं हा प्रश्न अतिशय महत्वाचा आहे. मित्रहो, कोणतीही कविता घ्या, कोणत्याही भाषेतली असू द्या, त्या कवितेमध्ये ठराविक एक 2-3 फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच हे कंपल्सरी असतातच. त्यामध्ये महत्वाचा इन्व्हर्जन. इन्व्हर्जन म्हणजे काय? शब्दांची रचना माग पुढं असणे. थोडक्यात प्रोज मध्ये असणारी शब्दांची रचना आणि पोएट्रीमध्ये असणारी शब्दांची रचना यामध्ये फरक आहे. आणि त्यामुळं मॅक्झिमम कवितेमध्ये इन्व्हर्जन हा फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच येतोच. त्याचप्रमाणे सिमिली शिवाय कविता होऊ शकत नाही. मॅक्झिमम कवितामध्ये सिमिली हा फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच असतो. त्याचप्रमाणे अलिटरेशन हा फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच असतो. आणि त्याचप्रमाणे रिपिटेशन म्हणजे इन्व्हर्जन, सिमिली, रिपिटेशन हे फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच जवळजवळ सगळ्याच कवितेमध्ये असतात. आणि परीक्षेला आपल्याला फक्त फिगर ऑफ स्पीच कोणतं वापरले हे लिहायचे. मित्रहो, तुम्हाला सांगतो 8ही कवितामध्ये 8 out of 8 poem, inversion, simile and alliteration, these figures of speech are used. So if you write any one of them, you will carry 1 mark. But for the students who wants to get good number of marks, they have to write its example. शक्यतो त्याचं उदाहरण ही लिहावं. Simile, the poet has used a simile, then you have to write down the example of simile used in this stanza. At the same time, example of any figures of speech, according to my opinion, I am telling you to write at least 2 figures of speech. Though 1 figure of speech will be okay, you have to write down 2 figures of speech. That means still 1, 2, 3, 4, there will be no problem. For all poem, you can solve in this way. Now the last question is the core question. It is very important. That is the theme or central idea of the poem. This question is for 2 marks. And in this question, the poem may be of 2, 3 or multi-stanzas. You have to include the meaning or its whatever may be summary of all things in one answer, that is in theme. Here there are both superficial meaning and deep meaning. You have to write down it in detail. This is about theme or central idea. Just you have to concentrate on theme or central idea. For homework, after the end of this period, I am going to give you one critical appreciation as a model. Afterward, I will send you the critical appreciation of all the 8 poems. Friends, always remember, our 10th standard English syllabus is not so difficult. It is easily understood by one and all. And from the syllabus, what we have to learn? We have to learn the basic skills. So don't worry about English. Don't worry about it, because if you cry at trouble, it grows double. But if you smile at trouble, it vanishes like a bubble. So always remember, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam used to say, today is my day. I am the best. Nothing is impossible in the world. In this way, you will be positive. So enjoy our online videos and best of luck. Friends, now I am giving you the homework on our today's topic. This homework include comprehension topic for both poetry section and prose section. At the same time, one model critical appreciation is given. You have to see it in our screen and you have to solve this homework we will see later on. Thank you very much.